creators. Greetings, my fellow conscious creators. Thank you so much for tuning in. Um, yeah, so I will give folks a couple minutes. So we'll say like 2 minutes. So we'll start at who am I kidding? Who am I kidding? Okay. So y'all know that I just go in. I just go in, right? And maybe this is why I like double dutch, because double dutch is one of those things. If anybody out there, when you catch the replay, if you double dutch or know how to double dutch, or have double dutched with any significant experience, let me know, because shout out to the double dutch champions out here. Shout out to y'all. You have not gotten enough credit for the skill level that it takes, the level of mastery that it takes to double dutch. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you got to stay ready when you double dutching. You got to stay ready. So, shout out to y'all. I'm so grateful, y'all. Let me tell you, because yes, hello beautiful. So, okay, so what's happening in real time, right? This is just amazing in terms of frequency, sound, vibration. Like, I wonder if y'all can see it. Let me see if I can switch the camera around. Okay, so can I zoom in? So I don't know if y'all can see this, but I bought this beautiful, beautiful bulb today because it was 50% off and it was gorgeous. And it resonated with me because of I'll show you. I'll show you. Well, let me actually pause for a moment. Let me slow down. So if you can see it, it is moving ever so slightly. Let's see. Do you see that? Oh, it was 222 on the timer when I said that. So yes, frequency, vibration, sound, frequency, vibration. I mean, it's amazing, y'all. It's absolutely amazing. And so, like, I'm literally sitting here watching this ball move around and adjust ever so slightly at the sound of my voice, and it's powerful. And that's what that's one of the things that I want to talk to you all about today, is when you go through a level of healing, there are certain gifts, right? Gifts, skills, and abilities in your ancestral DNA that gets unlocked, and it comes online, right? And it is through the matriarchal line that this happens, right? This is one of the reasons that it's so important to to be in tune with your feminine energy, to truly be in tune with your feminine energy, which is actually today the sun is again in Capricorn, which is a feminine earth vibration, right? And the moon is in Scorpio, which is a fixed water sign. Shout out to all the Scorpios out there. Ooh, y'all so nasty. But anyway, um, yeah. So that earth and that water produces an opportunity, or creates an opportunity for recreation, regeneration, for seeding, planting, and growing, right? And so this is and mm, it goes deep, y'all. Shout out to the Scorpios. Jeez. Unfathomable, right? Anyway, so one of the things that I want to talk about is, you see the title, right? So we're talking about shout out to those who have worked on and healed abandonment issues, right? Or those of you who are new to the journey of healing, and this is one of the things that you've been called to work on, welcome. Right. And so this is what we're talking about here, and just the correlation and how to really bring these things together for healing, for your highest elevation and for your highest ascension, right? And when I say highest, I mean most expansive, right? Um and so one of the things that came to me quite some time ago, just through my own life experience, and I'll just share this with you all to give you guys context for what it is that I'm saying. So I grew up in the 80s. And one of the things that I came to realize was a lot of my friends, particularly at that time, a lot of my female friends. Now, if there were male friends, I'm trying to find a good because I don't have my tripod down here. So let me put y'all up here. I'm sorry for all the movement in the camera, y'all. Just bear with me for just a moment. I wanted to start on time, so y'all see that's my orange tree back there. Okay, is this gonna work? Okay, so we'll do it like this, I think. Okay, okay. Child, I'm trying to figure out how to. Anyway, um, so growing up, one of the things that I noticed that a lot of myself included, right? Myself and a lot of my female friends had been molested at some point, right? Most of the time it was by men in our families. And I noticed the issues, the things for me that created in growing up, and some of the experiences that I had, and basically how this energy played out for me. And so one of the ways that it played out is I tended to search for affirmation a lot outside of myself, right? Some would say, as an adult, the adult version of me became a, as they call it now, a pick me, right? So this is someone who, basically bends over backwards, right, for the love and affirmation and acceptance and all of these things, particularly from a man. Like I was never the type of person that really cared about like cliques and groups. I was never really that person. But for me, it was more so about my relationships with men. And so I came to really appreciate the way that storyline, right? With that as its quote unquote genesis, right? Or at least that being in what's the word that I want to use? The word that's coming to me is interrupting, right? An interrupting pattern to my growth and development. There's a part of me that wants to say that it shifted my trajectory, but I don't even know if that's accurate, because I realized that you'll always get to where you need to be anyway, because that is divine timing. And so, it may have changed the course, or, delayed things a little bit, but it doesn't stop the flow. You see what I'm saying? Even though it may feel that way. So, so one of the things that I came to realize was I saw myself just gravitating to certain relationships, and what it was that I wanted in relationships, and not that any of the things that I wanted in relationships were abnormal, I guess, so to speak, but it was where I gravitated to men who were unavailable on some level, right? Whether that be physically unavailable, because I did date a guy that was in the Secret Service, and he was literally never around. So there was that, very secretive. You can't make this stuff up. So, you know what I'm saying? So then there was the one who was for the streets, so he wasn't physically available, right? And then there's also those who aren't ready emotionally, so they're not emotionally available, right? Um and one of the things that showed me, well, let me back up a little bit. So in all of that, I've always had this level of awareness where I've realized 111 on the timer, that I'm the common denominator in each one of those situations, right? And so in realizing that and feeling vulnerable, exposed, all of those things, right? You find yourself in a place where now you have to self reflect, right? And that's where I found myself. Literally, I found myself when I learned I learned to sit in the uncomfortability of what it was that I felt. And and the theme for me was the feeling of being unchosen, so to speak, and abandoned, right? And everything. And it was at that point and really finding the root to that I then started really looking at how to heal that, right? How to really heal that root space. And so and this brings me to what one of the other things to talk about, because I truly believe that one of the ways that we have been deceived when it comes to religion in particular is believing that root work in and of itself is bad, right? Because this is these moral words that are thrown around without really looking at what is its intention. You see what I'm saying? And so for me, when I started really delving into that whole looking at myself sort of thing, I understood, right? I understood at the core of my being that this is about root work. Like I literally have to get to the root of what is happening because there is a pattern. And I started to notice this pattern, right, in my family, in the women in my family. You know what I'm saying? Like I started to notice, hey, this is a common theme in terms of our relationships with men, right? There's something here. And so I went on a deep dive to heal that aspect of myself because I did not, let me say, no, let me speak in the affirmative, because I wanted my future to look different than my past. I wanted tomorrow to look better than yesterday. Do you see what I'm saying? And so because of that, I really started delving into myself. And honestly, one of the things that there, I mean, there were several things that helped me, but one of the first things that helped me was gardening. And this is why I love this energy that we're in right now, because I truly believe, and not even, I don't even have to believe it, I know at this point that where we are cosmically, right? Like I said, with the sun and the feminine sign of Capricorn that is ruled by Saturn with the ring around it that deals with karma, right? And time and you know what I mean, all of these things and discipline, right? And discipline and other things as well, but it's an ancient primordial energy. Do you see what I'm saying? This ancient primordial energy that reminds me of something that is so intense and expansive and creative and powerful and galactic and supernatural. And do you know what I mean? It's this ever expanding energy. And so in that, it's really looking at that energy combined with that energy of Scorpio, which deals with the sacral chakra energy, that seat of reproduction and recreation, like truly recreating and regeneration, rebirthing, all of that, right? And so we find ourselves in these times the day after most of the world has celebrated the day that they call Christmas, right? Um, and so I truly look at this for what I am seeing, which is this energy of being able to rebirth something very, very powerful by using that scorpionic creation energy that is water and that sun energy that so the Scorpio energy in this case, because it represents the moon at this time, that's that unconscious, that unconscious um hmm, back up, subconscious, right? It's that subconscious water energy, right? So then you have the energy of the solar energy, which represents that Capricorn energy, that earth energy. So when the water and the earth come together and you take all of that knowledge, wisdom, understanding, everything that you have within you, and you seed your intention in that energy, you are going to birth something, right? Because one of the things that I've realized over time is that we're always creating. Now, the question is whether we're consciously creating or whether we're simply creating. Either way, we're always creating something, right? And so I know a lot of times we got into these loops of creating unconsciously because a lot of us were operating from the programming that we had received from society and our own generational programming in ourselves, quite frankly. And we'll talk about that. So, creating from that place where we were, which was a lot of us coming from a place that was unhealed, this place that was unaware, right? And it happens, right? Because you awaken to levels of awareness, right? You expand into levels of awareness. So a 6 month old is not going to be able to do the same thing as a 12-year old, right? And so you grow up into these levels of awareness, into these levels of awakening. And I heard someone today talk about the lotus flower. And I think that is there's so many beautiful examples in nature of what this energy actually looks like. And so what it looks like is a lotus flower literally growing out of the mud, right? So I don't know if you've ever seen a lotus flower, but they actually is it that they close up? I think some of them do. I got to look at that again. But I believe that they close up at night, right? And then, at this, or maybe that's in the reverse. Don't quote me on that. But either way, so the lotus flower literally grows out of the mud, right? And it's this beautiful, beautiful, magical flower. And actually, we actually have lotus flower tea on our website, and it's also included in one of our yoni teas. I think it's our Rising Sun yoni tea. Um, and so the lotus flower represents regeneration. And so the ancient Commetans actually used lotus flower for regeneration, right? And resurrection, because that is just the energy of the lotus flower. And symbolically, the lotus flower, the thousand petal lotus, actually represents the opening of the crown chakra. And so this is this very, very powerful energy that we're in right now. And so I hope that you all are able to really, really tap into this energy, because if you are listening to this, chances are you've gone through a level of awakening to get to this point where you're able to see what it is that I'm saying, where you are seeing what I'm saying. And so congratulations, because you are here to help to change and to actually raise the frequency of the realm, like that. Like, do you understand how powerful you are? Like, I really want you to appreciate that. Like, the level of consciousness that you are at is that of a creator. So this really is for my conscious creators, right? Who are on this now that you have healed these wounds, right? And you may still be healing, and that's fine. But if you are able to appreciate what it is that I'm saying, then you're actually at this level of creation where you can and do consciously create. And so that means that you are absolutely here for something incredible. You chose to be here and to go through everything that you did in order to get to a level of awareness that you can then impart this information onto others, and to help to raise the vibration of the realm and to awaken and enlighten other people, like literally to light the flame of other people. Shout out to those of you who are also on a twin flame journey. Shout out to y'all, because you are truly lighting the way to something incredibly powerful and majestic. And so you are using this energy right now to be able to seed these new ideas, to be able to seed these new inventions, to be able to seed this new energy into the realm, right? And to make manifest that which you speak for the highest good of the collective. You are just that, don't play with me. You are just that powerful. You are just that powerful. And you chose to be here for such a time as this. And I'm so grateful for you. I know that your journey has not been easy. I know that it has not been easy. I know that you have encountered financial, what looks like financial setbacks, emotional setbacks. Some of you may have had, it may have manifested in some of you as physically being unable to move forward. So that could be situations where you've broken, you've had issues with your knees, right? You've had issues with your joints. These are all, this is Saturnian energy. So we're talking about that ancient DNA, right? That ancient wisdom. So if you are going through anything of the sort, one of the things that's going to help you right now is black kyanite. Also, Apache tears. That was something that came to me the other day. Both of them are black crystals that can be used, especially right now because we're in the Sun and Saturn, the Sun in Capricorn, with the ruling energy of Capricorn being Saturn, dealing with structure, stability, right? So wearing more red, wearing more purples, that's going to be very, very beneficial to you. And using these black crystals, those things are going to help you as well. And so you want to charge your crystals and charge the intention into your crystals, and allow the crystals to absorb, right, that energy that may be trying to pass through, your vessel, and just and accepting the healing energy, right? And then allowing for the transmutation of the other energies. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so using that energy for your benefit, for your healing, and really getting to the root of those generational and ancestral wounds. So another way that gardening really helped me was intentionally planting certain seeds, right? So for example, if you know that wherever Saturn is on your chart, first of all, you want to get your natal chart. Um, uh, Shout out to the peace dealer. Like, you rock. You're a rock star. So shout out to you. So if y'all are not familiar with the peace dealer, go to the peace dealer. Like, he will do your natal chart and pull your natal chart and like walk you through all of that stuff. That's not what I do yet, right? But I want to give you all enough information and let the people who do what they do, right? So find out where Saturn is on your chart. And wherever Saturn is on your chart, you make sure that you are looking back at, or reflecting, let me say it that way, where you're reflecting on the commonalities that you've experienced throughout your life, and really getting to the root of that. One of the things that you can do when we talk about gardening is planting root vegetables, right? So now is actually the perfect time to plant something like beetroot, because beetroot is this bright red vegetable that is a root. So it has to go in the soil. So you plant it in the soil, and then these beautiful leaves, this beautiful foliage grow from it. You can use the leaves in a salad. You can use the leaves in a smoothie. Very good for you. Actually helps clear out the blood, right? So when you look at the leaves of the beetroot plant when it grows, the leaves are green, and then it has these red veins that grow through it. You see what I'm saying? So it helps to actually cleanse out the blood. So that's something that is very beneficial if you are healing from this Saturnian energy, or getting to the root of some of these things for your lineage, right? Other root vegetables that you can plant include ginger. So that was one of the things that I planted a while ago. And for me, I planted ginger because one of the things about ginger is that it actually helps your digestive system. So for those of you who may have like Mars in Virgo, Ginger root may be good because you may have digestive issues because Mars being the planet of or the planet and the energy of war, right? You may find yourself at war with your intuition. And so you want to be able to get back to a place where you can trust your intuition. So if you're struggling with trusting your intuition, plant some ginger root, right? That's going to help you. And so as you watch the plant flourish, pay attention to that and what that speaks to you, because you're literally you're literally putting the root into the soil. You're going to nurture it with water, and like ginger and beets, they only require for the most part just water, because they're root vegetables, so they grow in the soil. So they don't require like direct sunlight and stuff like that, right? And that's one of the beautiful things about that, because again, we're talking about this dark energy, this dark earth energy, right? Growing in the soil. You may not know what's going on beneath the soil, but when you start to see the plant sprout up, you'll see what it is. You'll literally see what it is. So that'll really help you to connect with that energy, so that nature will speak to you on a deeper level, and show you a deeper level of healing, and show you what it is that you need to do to bring these energies into balance within yourself. So one of the other things, y'all, about the primary issue for me, which was abandonment. um you'll see, and when I post the thumbnail, I think I posted it when I posted the, or did I? Anyway, but on the thumbnail, I came across a house in my neighborhood that the windows, and because I took a new picture of it today, so the windows and the door is boarded up, and it says, there's a sign on one of the windows or something like that that says private property, no trespassing, right? Um, and so that's one of the things that I realize when it comes to dealing with abandonment issues, is that it can truly make you feel closed off, right? It can make you feel closed off, and like no one can actually see what's going on with you. So it makes you actually go into this place within yourself in hermit mode. Now that's not necessarily a bad thing, because again, in the darkness is where you find the light, right? In the darkness is where the seed grows, right? So this again, nature. So it's in that place that you literally find yourself in that place. And so but it's using that time for that purpose. Because let me say this, I have not always been, I say these things to you all because I've been through that. So I haven't always used that, as they say, being in the waiting room, right? Waiting room, waiting for things to change, waiting for a new day, waiting for whatever it is that you're waiting for. um what you're doing with each moment, right? And that's one of the things that I had to learn to appreciate, is the moments in between now and what it is that I'm working toward, or what it is that I'm putting my energy toward, right? And so, one of the things that I love is looking at, just the way that it takes for things to grow, to form, to all come together, because that's truly divine timing. And even though I'm not a religious person, I say what one of the things that's coming to me right now is the scripture that says, I knitted you together perfectly in your mother's womb. And so when I think about that, I think about not only my physical earth mother, I think about the cosmic mother. I think about the divine source of all intelligence, right? I think about the cosmic womb. I think about all of these things, and what it takes to grow something from a seed unto a tree, right? From sperm and an egg unto a baby, unto a fully functioning adult, right? And one of the things when it comes to gardening, and I mentioned this on my video yesterday, on my other channel, which is actually, it was on my Instagram live at Tisha Hillman, where, because there I'm doing a 31-day health is wealth journey. So there I was talking about this, something very, very similar, and talking about gardening. And for healthy soil, you need phosphorus, potassium, and nitrogen, right? And so I was talking about alfalfa, because alfalfa is known, and I have to say it that way because, like, when I'm thinking about how to spell it, I have to remember that it's alfalfa. So if y'all from the 80s, you remember the little, I don't know what planet he was from, but he ate cats, and that's a whole nother thing. But alf. So when I think about alfalfa, that's why I have to say it that way, so that I can remember that it's spelled alfalfa. Anyway, long story. so, so if you're looking for it, that's what it is, right? So alfalfa is it's a plant slash herb, right? Available on the Conscious Creations website at consciouscreations.live. And it is known as a nitrogen fixer. Now, let me tell you why that's important, because if in order to have fertile soil for gardening purposes, and also for your own physical fertility purposes, your soil, right, the minerals within your body, you need phosphorus, potassium, and also nitrogen. And so if any of those things are lacking in your soil, then you can use different herbs to correct that balance. And this is what we can do when we're talking about balancing hormones, right? So there's an on my website, on the Conscious Creations website, you can get our Nature Nurtures nutritive tea blend, right? That has the one thing that I forgot to mention of it, dandelion. It has dandelion, it has oat straw, it has horsetail, and it has alfalfa. And it is the combination of all of those herbs together that help to make your internal soil fertile again. And so a lot of us, yes. So the lemon tree is waving at me. But so the lemon tree agrees, right? So a lot of the things that are in the standard American diet actually serve to deplete you of your nutrients that you need for fertility. And so it's no surprise to me when I see women having more having things like growths in their body, like fibroids and tumors, and having issues with infertility and all of these things, because the standard American diet is not made with the nutrients that your body needs. So you can very much be overweight and malnourished at the same time, right? And that is because the cells, you're not feeding your cells. And so it's not made to be cellular food. You see what I'm saying? Or I won't even call it food. It's not made to feed your cells, but your cells actually make up your body. So you see what I'm saying? So it's causing this internal war with the self. You see what I'm saying? Because your body wants to keep you alive, but if we're following the standard American diet, we're not feeding ourselves food to keep us alive. You see what I'm saying? And this is in part where things like the winter blues come from, because during the summer months, most people are not getting the adequate amount of sun that their body needs in order to have a sufficient supply of vitamin D during the winter months, if you live in a place that gets cold, or in the southern hemisphere where the sun, is not out as bright during the day, right? Or where the days are shorter. You see what I'm saying? And so what happens is that starts to affect your solar panels, which are inside, which are is your mitochondrial DNA. So this is where we talk about that primordial energy. So the mitochondrial DNA is actually, it is the solar panels of your body. And so if you're not receiving the adequate amount of sun, it can't fully charge your solar panels. And then you have to go to an external source for energy. Do you see what I'm saying? And so what I am saying is, by changing your diet, not only can you heal these some of these issues that were created in the DNA through these different unconscious patterns that we developed over time, that quite frankly, that has served to colonize our mind, our gut, that served as colonization. And so what I am saying is to decolonize your mind, decolonize your gut, decolonize your system, so that you can see these things clearly for yourself and learn once again to self heal, because that is normal. Self healing is normal, right? Wellness is normal. Health is normal. Like, these things are normal. But because we live in a society that profits off of illness, well, first of all, the practice profits off of ignorance, illness, dis-ease, you know what I mean? All of these things, we have to be able to see differently and to see beyond that, so that we can bring this level of healing and awareness to ourselves and to our communities. Um, and so once again, if you have found yourself at this place on your healing journey, shout out to you. You are so powerful. You are so powerful. May you stay supercharged. But make sure that you also take rest. Do what it is that you make sure that you rest. You don't have to quote unquote die to rest in peace, right? You deserve that. You deserve to be at peace with yourself, at peace with your mind, or at wholeness, right? Being whole, being holy, right? Being whole in your representation of the self, of your divine self. Um, and so I know that it's been a journey to get here. And just know that you are certainly not alone in your journey, and you have so much support in your journey. And so if you want to connect with me, you can go to consciouscreations.live and get yourself products that you need out here. Like I said, it's ashy out here, y'all. So make sure that you have your consciously created body butters that are made with organic coconut oil, organic shea butter, as well as different fragrances and fragrance oils that I've created, to make you feel good, look good, smell good, and be just all greased up and stuff. Just, just nice. So anyway, so that's that. And also really connecting with, just the different products that you put on your skin, because that is one of the things that creates these blockages within our cellular network. And so we're not able to actually receive our communication from our higher self the way that we need to, because there is a blockage in the communication that is our neural network. Do you see what I'm saying? So really, really connecting to nature is so beneficial. So drinking your water, minding your business, oiling your scalp, right? So go to get the Abundance is Your Birthright hair growth serum. Oil your scalp, so that what you're putting on your scalp, as it's getting absorbed into your bloodstream, because it is, you want to make sure that it's actually things that add to your health. So in an hour, we have a shampoo, like a hair grease, and actually a fertile soil. It's called fertile soil, and it's a scalp oil. So it's like, just oil droplets you can put. And so that's what I do. So like when my hair is up, I'll take the little drops and just do droplets, on my scalp. And so it's made with things like rosemary, because rosemary actually helps with your memory. It is what's called a neuroprotective. So it actually protects the brain. It's made with things like black seed oil. Now, as you know, we've talked just briefly about seeds, and as you know, the seed is where the information is. So as we live in a society, many of us, or we're in a reality, well, some of us are in that reality where, there's seedless fruit, right? And so we know that the information is contained in the seed. So you want to get black seed oil and get your mind right, basically. Remember what is. So it's made with like black seed oil, Jamaican black castor oil, saw palmetto oil, that actually helps to not only reduce inflammation, but it also, as all of these things are traveling, because remember, they have to travel from your scalp down your cells and your nervous system and all of these things, and it makes its way to your kidneys, and it flushes out your kidneys, because the kidneys and the liver is the body's filtration system. And so as these things are being put onto your body, it's not, let me say this, it's served to actually protect the kidneys versus to harm the kidneys, and something that's going to overtax, understand, tax your kidneys and tax your liver and tax your immune system, right? It's not going to do that because of the ingredients that are in it, because because it is consciously created. And so, I just want to make sure that folks know that these products, these things actually exist, so that when you're really looking to clean yourself out and to really get, to really get on this track of being able to tap into your higher level of consciousness and most expansive level of awareness, you have the tools that you need to do that. So you can go to the consciouscreations.live website and pick up the tools that you need. If you need crystals, crystal balls, crystal wands, whatever it is that you need to work your magic, go to consciouscreations.live. And if you're interested in working with me on with as a group, having, doing speaking engagements, or doing other sort of soul work, right? You can contact me at www.thetishahillman.live, because there dot com, thetishahillman.com, because there, what we are doing, we are revolutionizing the art of minding our business. So oil your scalp, drink your water, mind your business. Because there are so many things that will pull you away from what it is that your soul came here to do. So in order to find yourself being on your consistent journey, you got to mind your business. It's revolutionary. It is revolutionary, because some of y'all came here to be conscious creators, right? You literally came here to bring a new energy, a new invention, a new creation, a new you, right? You're here to birth these amazing babies for the next gen. You know what I'm saying? You're here to do something powerful. You're here to bring forth something that the world has never seen before. That's what you're here to do. And so to do that, you must be focused on what it is that you are here to do. So protect your crown. Protect your crown. Protect your crown. Mind your business. Take care of what you are here to do. Do what you came here to do, because you came here to do is so good. And so I am just grateful that you are on this journey. I'm so grateful that you worked on healing these things, and you healed those things that were holding you back from being the 144 on the clock, right? So you came here to do something powerful. And so if I can be of any support on your journey, you have my information. If you want to connect on TikTok, go to Create Consciously. But all of the information is between those different platforms. So it should be in there, y'all. I'm working on that. But anyway, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for all that you do. Thank you for showing up. And in the meantime, you love yourself well. You deserve it. I stay trying to figure out how to stop these lives, y'all. I think I got it now.